I'm thinking to cover today is file operations. I will be talking a bit slowly today because I have some throat infection problem. So, doctor suggested me not to speak a bit loudly today. So, if you can increase the voice of your system, that would be fine. So, this file operation generally what exactly it does is there are several instances where you need to you know read files, whatever the input you can provide through files. And the examples are something like when you visit some website, and most of the places somewhere you see, like, okay, browse some file, you can upload it on the server, and the server reads those file, and it fills out the information for you. I mean, you guys might not have done that, but there are several websites where you can upload a file instead of typing the information. uh, so in Java also, there are situations where instead of typing the data, you can directly provide it through with the file. For example, there is an online shop, or you go to some shop, and you purchase something. I think in US there is a Walmart, and there is a Super Value, and um, Target, and all these companies are there. And you visit any of the supermarket of theirs, and you purchase something, right? You go and you pick some item, and you just pay the bill, and you come back. That's it. Your story is over. But their story does not end there. They keep those data, they analyze those data, they process those data, and they figure out what is the sale trend, or what are the profit happened, what is the margin, what is gain, loss, all these things they do once you leave the shop. How do they store the information about these things? What do they do is they store these information as a file, and once you shop, you get a bill, right? There's a same thing. You can that file gets stored in that as a information of your purchased item. Suppose you bought a phone, or you bought half kg of sugar or something like that, right? So that kind of bill will be generated to your, and that you will get the slip. But internally it generates a file, and those file keeps on accumulating, and at the end of the day, when the shop is going to closed, that time they process all these files and put into the database, and show it in the UI page or somewhere, that okay, these many sales has happened today, this is the profit, this is the loss, this is the margin, and all these things, right? So your application has to support the file processing. And how you can do that? I mean, you can read any kind of file like txt, .dat, and all kind of file you can read it. So there are several ways through you can do it, and the most common way what I will be covering is you can write a file. Suppose you have a file and you want to read it. So suppose I think you can't see my screen because of security reasons. You cannot see my desktop. So I'll do one thing. Okay, so I'll directly open C drive, and then I'll go to C drive, and I'll create one folder, Java sessions, and inside that I will write I'll create a file. Suppose I have one text file, and uh, walmart.txt. So suppose I want to just put information about Walmart, how many sales has happened, and here I am having information in such a way that you can read line by line. So I write something like soap, colon, rupees, comma, then today's date, like 10th September and 2015, comma, location, some St. Joe's or San Jose, and again, you can have the data something like this. and instead of soap you bought some book, you bought pen, you bought phone, you bought some laptop, whatever it is, right? So you have these informations, and again the the price is also varying. It becoming 200. It's a $12. It's like $500, or laptop is $1,000, and let it be remain the location and these things same, right? So this is the information what is has been created by the your applications where you get the bill. Now the thing is you need to process these data, and you want to show it, okay, how many books has been sold, and you can do this all these things also. So suppose you're sold 3 books, and phone wise you can tell like something. Okay, so right, and so this soap 10 rupees on 10th September 2015, and then location is San Jose, and you can just put, I don't know about much of the location, so anyways, so let it be 2 locations the same. Okay, so these are the locations where these are the items has been sold, and as a company, right, I want to know, okay, how many items has been sold in California, how many San Jose, and uh, on what date, and all these things, right? How many phone and book and all these things I want to do. What do we need to do first? The first thing what do we need to do is we need to read this file. We need to get the content into the memory. We need to load this particular data into the memory first. And the way the Java does is it reads the file line by line. So it will read first line, then the second line, then the third line, then the fourth line, and all that. Once we get the line, we read the line, then right, what we need to split it by the comma separator, right? This comma is called the delimiter, through which you can tokenize the string, and you can get the information like 10, then all this information you can get it. So the thing is, what do we need to do is the first we need to read the file. So let's see how we can read that file here. The steps are, the first thing what you need to do is you have to create object of file. So in Java there is a class named as a file which takes the path of the file. So you need to give that where exactly this file is, and the file is somewhere at this location. So C Java sessions. So we'll provide this C Java sessions. So I'll remove like this C Java session, and then slash walmart.txt. And what exactly it will do is it will go into this location, and it will load, it will see that, okay, whether the file is there or not. So we can see something like, okay, if we can check if, and then we can say, okay, file dot exists. So what does this do is that it will see that, okay, whether this file whether it does exist or not. Now if only it exists, then only we will be reading, right? Else we can say something like there is no such file. So I'll say something like there is no such file present in the provided path, right? So if we'll check it whether this file exists or not. As of now it exists because I had created that file, right? And we can see that that file is present. So obviously this if statement will be it will be called, and it will be validated true. So we will come inside this, and then what do we need to do is we have to create a thing like called the file reader, and we call like this file reader equals to new file reader. And here we need to provide the file object. So whatever this file object we have created, this file object we have to pass into this. And again, as you can see here, the compile time exceptions, what do we need to handle? Yesterday what we had covered, right? It also it can throw the exception. So we'll just make it as a file not found, so it can throw file not found exception. And so we need to cover that. Now we have a reader, I can read it using the buffer reader. I think yesterday we had done that. So buffer reader br equals to new buffer reader, and then we need to provide this reader to this. So it's like a three-step functions. Okay, so it's like a three-step. The first thing that you need to provide the path of the file. It will, this file object it will give, and it will tell whether the file exists or not. If it is true, then you can have a file reader, and then you can provide the reader as a new file, and then the main reader it will read from, that is the buffer reader, and then you can get like this. So the next line what we need to do is that there are many lines which is in the file, right? So 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, till it reaches to end, and end will be by null. Every file ends with null, null, null. So once it reaches to null, we have to stop looking to the file. So what we will do is write something like while br dot read line, and we will take this into string. We'll first create one local object, and then we'll see, okay, str equals to br dot read line, read the line, put into the br, and check it if is not equal to null. So it will keep on going through the list, and will keep on assigning it to a string. It will check whether it's a null or not. If it is null, it will come out, else it will keep on reading. And so we can say something like line read by reader. So now it should print me the line by line item, right? So let's see first how it goes, and it should print line by line. As you can see, the line read by reader, line read by reader, again this, and all these things, right? So we got hold of the data, right? Whatever the present in that. So the first step is that get the file object, right? Once you get the file object, it asks you for the path that, and if that file is, suppose I make it to walmart1.txt, right? So it will not read, because it will say there is no such file present in the provided path, and there is no right, because it is not execute, because it sees that okay, file exist is coming as false, and it will execute, right? So it's good that you keep checking your code, that it should not end up losing some problem or something, right? So this file reader read, after that you can create the file reader, and you need to pass this object, whatever the file object. So if you give here a file reader or something, you need to provide it here the same thing, and then that reader you need to provide to the buffer reader. So there are two, step 2 is this, and then step 3 is this. And once you have buffer reader read line, then you can just do that, call the method read line on that, and this read line will return a string, and that string you can put into the str is nothing but a type of string, and you keep checking whether the str is null. Null will come only if at the end of the file, and till then it will keep on executing this, and hence we get the string. Now the next part, what do we need to do is we need to retrieve the how many books are there, how many pen has been sold, and all these things. So till now it is clear or not? Just let me know.
It is clear.
Amika, is it clear? Jansi, is it clear?
Yes. Yeah, it's clear.
Understood, right?
Yes.
Okay. So what is our next intention is we got the data, right? I mean, we have this soap, then 10. And what I want to count how many soap has been sold, how many book has been sold, how many phone has been sold, how many pen has been sold, how many laptop, and all these things I want to count. So the thing is, this entire is a string. It's one string. Okay, so soap 10 and this entire is a string. I need to split this string by comma separated, right? So I need to separate this soap, then 10, then this and this, and so that we can have different string. Right now if I'm printing this str, it is printing the entire statement, but I need to count whether it's a soap, whether it's a book, and all these things, right? So the next thing what we need to do is we have to tokenize it, and the way we tokenize is we'll create the string. I'll write something like data. We'll give an array, and I'll tell you what exactly it does is we'll call the split method, and on split method we give comma. So what it exactly it will do is it will separate, it will create an array. So suppose the string, right, str. So first time the str has come like this. So this what it will do is split by comma, because I'm providing here the delimiter as comma. So it will separate by comma, so it will get this soap, right? Then it will get 10, then it will get date, then it will get location. So this data, it's an array. As you can see here, I have put this double bracket. So the 10 and the soap will be at the 0th location, this will be at first location, this will be at second location, this will be at third location. So now if I print that item name, I can data I can put at the 0 location, because the first element at the 0 location will be the book or phone or pen or all these things, right? So now if I print it, as you will see here, the line read by reader is soap, this, but item name is soap, right? I have extracted this particular information by this. Okay, similarly you can print like price is, you can say, data, and the price will be on what location? The first location, right? So price would be at this location, and we can say okay, this much dollar, right? So now even this also will come. Item is pen and price is $12. Item is phone, price is $500, right? So these things are now it is coming, right? So now this data, this is there. We can see, okay, whether it's a pen or it's a laptop or something. Right now it will be difficult to count it by writing our own application, because I wanted to use a API which is called the hash map, and I'll just simply use it. I'll tell you later most of the thing about this. Just think like this as a hash map, as a key value pair. Okay, so hash map actually contains the key value pair and item count equal to just don't worry about this clumsy syntax and all. Just think like it holds the key value information. Key value is something like it will hold like this information. It will have two columns. One will be key and one will be value, and the key I have put as a string and value as an integer, because I want to count like, okay, pen, so how many of pen, 2, 3 or 4, it will be always integer. if it's a book, so how many book? 3, 4, 5, and all these things, right? So it should be string, this should be integer. So that's why I have created a hash map string integer, and I want to write a count, item count. So this is my variable where I will putting the data, right? So now I have this data, right? So either it could be pen, either it could be phone, either it could be laptop, either it could be book, right? So what exactly I will do is here I'll check that if item count dot now get, and we'll put this data, whatever data 0 we are getting. So better I'll do one thing, instead of printing like this, it will be easy for you to understand. String item name equal to data 0, and this is my item name. Then string item price equal to data 1, and so on. I am not worrying about other things. Also you can get other things as well. I think you will understand, right? So at 2th position it will be date, and 3rd position it will be location. I am not worrying about this. Even I don't need this item price also, because I need only the count of the items which has been sold. So I need only item name, and you can print item name here. I'll just remove this price also, because I don't need. This is just for printing purpose, and there is no need. So now what I will do is, so before putting into that key value, parallelly I will just design here. So as of now, the first time when it runs, right, it contains nothing. It's just a blank key value pair, and this is my item, what item it is, of type string, and this is my count, which is type of integer, and the first time it's null. So first time what will come? The first time, as you can see, the pen 12, date this, and this one. So first time it will come as pen. What we will do is we will check it first. So is there any pen here? If pen is there, we'll get it. So first time there is no pen because it's totally empty, right? So we'll simply insert this pen here, and we will insert as a count as 1. Okay, next time suppose phone has come, again we'll check is phone is here in this. We'll say okay, no phone is present, put phone here, put an entry as 1. Then again laptop will come, same thing, laptop. Then again suppose pen has come, maybe. So before putting into that, we'll check okay, pen is there. It will say oh yes, pen is there. Then we'll say okay, get the count first and increase it by 1. So we'll make it as a 2. So this is how we will be keep on doing, right? So here, that's what I need to do, is that first we will check it. Okay, if that item count dot get is for getting the value. So we need to provide the key, and key will be my item name, right? Item name will be my key, and if this equals to null, that means it returns that okay, there is nothing inside this. Then what you will do is you simply item count dot put, and what put you will do, you will put the item name and you will put the value as 1. Suppose it does not returns the null, that means what, that item is already present, and then what you will do is that you will get the count first from that one. So int get count, so item count dot get, and get for that particular name. Maybe a little bit confusing for you guys, but I'll just tell you. So to return this, and you increase this get count, make it plus plus, and once you increase it, you can put back to the, so you are updating like that. So put again, and item name, and then you put the get count. That's it. So I hope you guys can it's a little which so what I told, right? The first thing what we will do is that we are checking. So get no item count dot get means we need to provide the key, and this key is here pen. So I'm telling, okay, get pen value, and if there is no pen is present, it will return null. And if it is equal to null, that means if it is coming null, that means pen is not present in the map. And that's why I know what I'm doing is I'm putting into that map, okay, put this pen as a value 1. That means there is one pen. Second time if suppose comes, right, second time again the pen is there, then if I get it, okay, item dot get item, it will not return null, it will return some value, and this will not get satisfied. It will come here, and then what I will do, that I'll do, okay, item count dot get of pen. So this thing will return me a value as 1, because last time the value was 1, and then I will increment it to by 1, and now it will become 2, and then I'm putting back into that. So I am replacing that pen again, the pen will be pen here, and get count the value as 2. So now in the map it will be like pen, and the count will be 2. So this will keep happening for the entire map, and at the end we can print. So here it will like printing all the count of items which has been sold today, right? So we need to iterate over it and print it. Forget about the syntax, how to print through hash map. I'll just write it down for you. We'll cover this later in collection. I just need to use that, so I used it. Don't worry about this syntax. Think about the logic, what exactly I'm trying to do here. Okay, so this will this will print you the key value pair. And now if I'll just comment out this one, and it should give me the count of units sold. So laptop, item name is laptop, and unit sold is 1. Item name is book, unit sold is 3. Item name phone, unit sold is 3. Is it true? Phone, yeah. So 3 phone, only 1 soap, 3 book, and 1 laptop. Yeah, so yeah, 3 laptop, book, phone, pen, and soap. Yeah, so that is fine, right? We are able to print it correctly, right? So now it's like if you are the Walmart owner, right? And you need to find out, okay, you came to the mall at the night, and you're saying, okay, now tell me the number of units which has been sold. You are not going to count each and everything. I mean, your application will tell you everything. So you're providing a file, just merely a file. We are doing all the processing to it, right? This is nothing but we are processing the data, and we process it and we find out the result. Now you can do many things with that. You can sort the number of units which has been sold by its by its name, by its these things. There are many things you can do. You can find out how many which day, which location wise. Also you can do plenty of things. I will leave these things to you guys to practice it, and I expect you to try that. How many items has been sold location wise. It was like how many unit has been sold overall, but I want like, okay, in San Jose how many has been sold, in another location how many has been sold. So I would like you to do that. I'll share this program with you guys, and I expect you to, maybe my Monday or Tuesday you can send me your program by writing the units which are sold by location or something like that. And later, what exactly I want to do is, once I start the collections, maybe Monday I will start it. Once collection comes, I want you guys to, learn how to write Java APIs, make the code reusable. I mean, here it's not reusability. I'm not using reusability here. There are plenty of ways I can do that, and I'll take this example again once I complete collection, right? And I'll show you what are the magical ways in which we can write the code. We can sort just by calling a method. It will sort based on name, it will sort based on location, it will sort, do these things. It'll count on based on some key and all these things. There are many things you can do. Only one thing is required, that is the interest and the patience of learning. If you guys can give that, I think it will be, easy for you to, because Java requires a lot of patience to learn. I mean, there are plenty of syntax problem there. You can learn C very easily, but I feel like Java has a more syntactical problems here. You have to take care of everything. I mean, how Java behaves, syntax wise. There are plenty of methods, APIs you need to know about. So it requires a lot of learning. It requires a lot of time, devotion, determination to learn that. So if anybody, I don't know, you guys are not telling me, that's why I sent a mail to everybody that, okay, if you have any problem, if you want to, class to be done, different way, maybe I'm very fast, maybe I'm very slow or anything, you can separately tell me. Maybe I can, help you out offline or something like that. Do not, just think like, okay, it's a training, so let me just go through. But trust me, there are few people whom I trained, right? They did not attend properly, and somehow they got the job. I don't know how do they get it. After getting the job, they are calling me constantly that, okay, help me out with the project. I'm not able to, understand things, how to compile the code also. And then I was surprised to, know that, in 1 month or 2 months I was, then uttering nonsense, right? I mean, I'm putting effort to, make you guys understand. And if you're ignoring things later, I don't know, it doesn't get, it will not hamper, right? It's, I am doing my part-time job. This, it's not my some kind of job where I need to, be something. It will, if you're interested, if you have determination, you want to work, learn things. I mean, it will help you only. I mean, that guy got fired in 15 days only. I mean, he could not survive there. I mean, because, and I have seen few people who learned properly. He still, they, send me the code. Divagar, there is some problem I'm facing in this code. Can you just look into it? I just suggest them. They they quickly come up with the solution that, okay, this could be the problem, and they figure it out. It depends totally on your interest, your determination, what exactly do you want to do. If you're forcefully doing something, don't take it personally or something. If you're doing forcefully these things, right, I would suggest not to do it. Okay, so take interest. Even I like if someone, learn from me. If I can help someone, it feels good. And if, at the end of the session or course, if someone says, okay, I don't know how to write a code also, I really feel very bad about it. So it requires, I know I give too many lectures, but it's good that, focus and learn. And I can always help. I mean, it doesn't mean that, I finish the course, I cannot help you. And if I, completed something and you come back again and you ask me, I will not help. It's not like that. You can, ask anytime. I'll get time. I'll definitely reply and let you know, guys. Okay. That's why I shared my email ID. I shared my number, so you can reach me anytime. And apart from that, I also, will be helping little bit about the, interview questions. I don't know they ask questions or not, but certain tricky ways to, answer the questions and all. Generally in consultancy, I've seen they don't ask much questions. They write 6 years, 7 years of experience in the resume and they get the job. In India, it doesn't happen like that. They will cross check you like anything. They will do the background testing and all these things. And there the situations is different. They take you and then they assign you the job, and then they expect that, okay, if you can do, if you can deliver, then that's okay. Otherwise, you can welcome to leave the company. But here it's not like that. I have taken more than 200 interviews till now, and I generally, cross check everything, and I can know within 5 minutes whether that guy knows or not, whether that guy has worked or not. So difference, I mean, the things are different at different places. Maybe people get accustomed to those things, and that happens. Okay, anyways, so this file thing, if anybody had any questions, you can tell me. I think I had covered a very interesting portion of the Java programming core Java. It's really very useful. I mean, if you go to project, you will see these kind of things everywhere, reading the file, because most of the things it gets into the properties file like connection. So if you tell me the practical example, one of those is this, and second is something like, you are connecting to the database and you need database information, and which keeps on changing frequently. Tomorrow some password gets changed, right? You are not supposed to go and change the code, Java code. Rather than you go to properties file and you change it there. So that becomes a useful thing to use properties file, and that is nothing but the text file. So any questions so far? What is that split method I did apart from hash map? Do not worry about hash map, how I used it, because I will be covering in very detail in collection once I start collections. Any questions so far? Amika, Jansi, Pratik, Satyajit, any question, anything?
No.
Fine. Okay, so the next thing what I want to cover is so file. There is nothing much apart. Yeah, there are few utility. That's what I tell you guys to practice these things. Suppose you have I see that's what I taught you, that how to read a file, right? One more thing I will be covering is the how to write a file, right? But before that, suppose you need to see. Suppose I have one more file here, and this is for target company, and one more file I have, and now just copy paste this same data here, but change it to something, let it be anything. And you have files again. You have inside this one more folder is there, something like backup. Inside that again you have one more file, something like bkp text or ckp text. Now you join the project, and I gave you a requirement. See, in training I covered only reading writing file, and once you join a project, and the first day I say, okay, what I want is I'll give you a location, and the location is this one. The location is C Java sessions. I told you, okay, in that location there could be multiple folders, there could be multiple files, there could be multiple files inside a folder or folder inside a folder. I want you to list down all the files inside those things. I do not want you to show the folders, but I want you to find out whether this is a file and all these things. Now what you will do, right? So what are the ways you can figure it out? The best way I would suggest you to do that is uh, keep exploring the APIs. APIs, if I say, that means the method, the functions. The main thing what I was telling from the day first is that Java provides abstractions. Now abstraction means it has many inbuilt APIs, many inbuilt functionalities, which is abstracted, which is hidden from you, but you can easily explore it by using different things. So if I see route file dot, if I put dot, there are many methods will come. If you scroll down, you will see. And not only that, you can even read about these methods, what exactly does it do. So if I suppose want to see about this exist, right? So you hover to that and you can see, read about this description. It will give you entire description about that method, what exactly it does. If I say get absolute path, if I set get absolute path in string, what is the return type also it will tell that, okay, return type is string, right? Get canonical form, get class, get name, get total space, how much space it has taken, right? It will tell you in that. It will tell you in the maybe KB or MB or something, how many usable space is there. These things you can. Now the main question what I was covering is here is that whether it's a directory, whether it's a folder, right? So whether it's a folder or whether it's a file, this guy will tell you, right? So before that, what I need is I need to list out all the files or folder. So again, there is a method here as a list. As you can see here, list, and again there is a list files is there. So this list file returns an array of all the folders there. So if I suppose I need something like I'll do something I'll give something like name like this, and it could be either a file or folder, but it will return me a list of files. And this list of file, if I print it, I'll just comment out this code, okay, because this has been done. So this I just want to list down all these things. So I will reuse string s colon get absolute path. Let's see the magic here. What exactly it is? Null pointer exception. Where exactly it is throwing? List. Oh, sorry. I need to give the not the file path. We need to give this path that what are the file and folders are there. Okay. Anyway, so see exactly. See what exactly I'm seeing here is C Java sessions backup, C Java session target txt, and these things, right? These two are files, but I am listing here backup folder, which I am not supposed to, right? The my task is to print this name, and inside this folder, right, whatever the name is there, and maybe there could be one more folder, folder 1, and inside that also there could be like these files. Again, this put name DC and CD and DC. I need to list out all the txt files, CD, DC, and then inside this I'll go and all this. So I need to write a logic, right? Okay, if there is a folder, get into that folder and then retrieve the files. So these things, you can do it here by doing a simple thing is that you will check if s dot is directory, and it will tell you if that is the directory, then do something, and we'll do it something later. Else if it is not directory, I'll simply print dot get absolute path. So we'll print this one if it is a file, but if it is a directory, then again what do we need to do is we need to again get the list of files. So we'll do something like new file, or we can do something like, yeah, so file f equals to new file, and inside this we need to provide the path. So s dot get absolute path, so it will give the folder path, and then you can list out the folders again. So again you can get file, so okay, F. Okay, so if it is a directory, we can always get it. Sorry, so we can. So again, we can get the list of that particular name, and then again you can print out get absolute path. So now what exactly it will do is it will list out all these paths. Now as you can see here, Java session, it went into backup and then it printed .txt. It went into F folder 1, printed, folder 1 printed, this one printed, this one printed. This is what our requirement was, right? See, there is nothing here, you should be remembering things, right? If you know how to explore the APIs, it's really very easy to do that. Nobody can remember, this much of API. It's just you need to apply the logic. You should know that, okay, there are some kind of APIs through which you can, do such kind of stuff, right? So yeah, fine. So this is I hope everybody understand. I mean, if you try to understand, it's a fairly easy to get things done quickly. If anybody facing problem understanding the class, what exactly, so here if I ask you, this is nothing but a class, and this S is the object, and this is an array of files. So this array of files is nothing but the array of file class object, and this S is the object of that. So for every S, I'm just checking whether it's a directory. If it is directory, again I'm telling you, okay, get the list of that particular directory and then find out the path of that, or the get the name of that particular file. So one more thing I'll cover it, which is writing a file. So write to a file, it's pretty much similar to that. You need to create a file object. Instead of file reader, you will be looking at file writer. Instead of buffer reader, you will be using buffer writer, and that will be done. Okay, so what exactly do you need to do here is it's a fairly simple file equals to new file, sorry, and here you can provide like C colon Java sessions slash my file slash sample.txt. I want to write into this particular file. Okay, so good. Next what I need to do is file writer equal to new file writer, and inside that I'll pass this file object as usual. Next thing I need to do is buffer writer bf writer equals to new buffer writer, and we need to pass this writer here. That's all. So it's done, and I need to handle the exception here. So we can handle like this. Now next line, I just want to, you know, write something. So string str equals to, maybe this is valid for me, so I'm writing like this. You guys might hate or something, I don't know. So yeah, so I love Java and I want to write this into that particular sample.txt file. So bf writer dot write and string is as simple as that. So once you execute it, okay, oh sorry, this path is not there. Perfect, because I didn't print anything, so it didn't print anything, so I'll just print it done, and I'll do that. It's printing done. I think it should be done. Let's run back to the folder. We'll see sample.txt. We'll check it. Nothing is written here. There's some problem, it seems. Okay, we need to close, I think. Yeah, buffer dot close. Okay, I think now it should be written. Yeah, I love Java in sample.txt inside the Java C folder. It's written. This is how you can write it. Writing is very easy, and this is the way you can write into the file. Any question, anything else you want to cover? Anything? You can speak up. I feel like I'm talking to a wall. Nobody responds. Nobody asks anything. So it's like everyone is mute. I asked them to put on mute so that noise does not come. But asking questions, you can speak up and you can ask anything. Is everyone okay with that? Any question? Pratik?
Yes, I understood.
Understood? Okay. What about you, Jansi?
Yeah, understood.
Understood. Amika? Is it fine? Okay. Okay. Good. So the topics which are left in core Java is collections and collections and one more thing which is serialization. So from my side, there are two topics which is left in core Java, and then the advanced Java will start, and which will consist of a little bit tricky and complex thing will start from there, which is the first thing is a multi-threading, and I feel like it's a little bit complex than what we are doing here, and that's why I'll once we finish core Java, I'll give 1 day or 2 days break so that you can go through it, and then we'll start advanced Java like multi-threading, then the JDBC, which is Java database connectivity. You can connect to your database. Okay, before that I wanted to ask, do you know guys knows database, right? SQL queries, how to write SQL query, how to get the data from a table, what is table in JDBC and all. Anybody there who does not know database? At least you can tell about this one.
Yeah, I don't know.
Satyajit, you don't know about database?
No.
Pratik?
I studied this subject in my bachelor, so I little bit know about this.
Okay, so again, that would be a little bit problem. Anyways, I can, it generally happens that, most of the people does not know about SQL. And yeah, I mean, advanced Java will consist, I think, 90% of the advanced Java, what I will be covering, it will be related to database, because the persisting the data what we save, we do not save into a file or anything, right? We save into something like called MySQL. As you can see here, I have installed it here, and you need to log into the server, and you can show like databases, what the databases are. So you need to create the database, and again you can use something like MyDB. So tables, so there will be tables like employee, user, person, and you can see what exactly this can hold. So a person, if you see ID, name, and country, and you need to see what are the data it is holding. So there is a SQL command like, okay, select a star from person. It will show you that, okay, these are the person details. Same thing you can do for other tables what I have created here. So select a star from employee. It will show you what are the employees are present in that table. Basic syntax you should be knowing in order to deal with Java applications and database interaction. So I think it will take one session for me. See, I am not supposed to give sessions on SQL and database, but again, it will be meaningless to start without telling you about the database, what exactly it is. It will be like throwing a stone in the ocean and thinking about it is hitting something. Okay, so I'll cover one session in SQL so that you guys can understand, and then only I'll start JDBC. So I would request everyone to just I'll give you a link and you can just read about it. Why do we prefer a database instead of file? We can store data in file, right? Just now I shown you, right? You can write the data into the file. But why do we use a database? I want you guys to come up with the answer, and I can start it. There is some reasons. There are not some reasons. There are numerous reasons that we should use database in place of file. And the reason why we need either file or database is that someone has to persist your information. Someone has to store your information. Suppose today you create a profile in Facebook. You log in, you put your profile pictures, you put comment and all these things you do. Once you log out and tomorrow you log in again and nothing is there, again you have to create the account, you have to put the images and all these things. Would you ever visit again that website? No. The reason is they are not persisting your information. You have to put effort again and again, right? And so the thing is, there has to be some mechanism, there has to be some way to store those data, so that in future again you come back, they will understand, okay, this is so and so person, and this is the images so and so. Every website these days, 99.999, I would say 100% websites uses databases these days to persist your information, persist your images, persist your videos, and all this thing, everything that it gets stored. And there are more than 100 types of database are available in the market. Mostly what we use is MySQL, Oracle, Postgres, MongoDB, okay, HSSQL, MS SQL Server. These are the databases type, the softwares what generally market provides. I mean, the Oracle, it's Oracle companies, Oracle database. MySQL is free, that is also provided by Oracle only. Postgres, again, it's a free open source that we can use it. These are the databases which people use it for their applications. So Facebook use MySQL, okay, Google use MongoDB. So they uses these kind of data to persist your information, so that next time you log in, it can validate your information that, okay, this is the so and so person. So once you give username and password there, right, they check across against the database, okay, whether this user is really present, and if it is present, whether its credentials are correct, and if it is correct, find out all the information whatever you have saved in form of their name. So they might be created a table with your data, right? Okay, so and so person has then picked this their image in this is their comments, and these are these things. So I'll just give you one before I close this session. It's a very interesting thing is that the initial Facebook database schema, how they used to maintain their database, and it's pretty interesting. If you guys can see, I'll just zoom a little bit. So I think image is not clear. Yeah, I think you can see. So I just wanted to see this one, but hey, you can see that. I mean, I'm not. I don't know what is the problem here. Is so see here. I know Facebook group. There is a table. Location is there is a table. A Facebook event. What event? RSAP station, school affiliation. Image. This photo, right? Album ID, caption, created, large source, all these things, right? So they have created a design of the tables, and once you log in, right, they will take your username and this what status is, update user status and all these things, right? They put all your information in. This is the very old one. I think in initial days, Facebook used to use this kind of database structure. They put all this data in segregated form everywhere table, and once you log in, they quickly retrieve all these informations from there and show it to you. Your profile pictures loads up your wall, your status, your comments, your messages, and everything. It covered get it from there. So it's a quite interesting thing to know about database. Okay, so just read about it. What exactly a database is? This is the name there, SQL, that is called the structured query language. Read about it. What exactly it is. Anyhow, I'll be covering in one session, so it is fine. Okay, any question? I'll close this session now. So if anybody want to ask anything.
Can you send today's recording because I missed the first like 20 minutes?
Yeah, actually, I'm converting. It's converting this video is very painful.